Hello everyone, I'm Eden and welcome back to the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. We're continuing on by cross-examining Mr. Stickler? I forgot what his first name was, our pretentious Ivy League university student here. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Why? Oh, sorry, wrong button. Present. Or press, not present, press. Which way did the killer run? By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kitaki mansion. Acton, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight. Ugh, how did he know that's where I was going? Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. You were certainly composed for somebody who had just witnessed a killing. One is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science. One must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor. Oh, cool answer. Very cool. So nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. Do you want to chime in here, Trucy? Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? I mean, if you call 911, don't you get both? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. I wouldn't trust you with my life. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Tends to. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism? Dude, I don't know your words. I don't know these pretentious words. Proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite. He actually looks like he's gonna cry. Trucy, chime in if you got something to say. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction. Is that all? Yeah, that was not very specific. No one came. Nothing happened at all. Nothing happened in 10 minutes. I saw it all, which is to say I saw nothing. It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park. So he just stood there watching? That's what I'm saying. Like, you just stood there with a dead man doing nothing? Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you've got something to say, by all means, that's what I'm saying. Trucy, chime in here. I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, Air Forehead? Maybe it's time to back off a bit? No. Never back down. The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I will amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. I'm using the wrong voice. I'm using the pretentious voice for the prosecutor. You may continue with the cross-examination. Okay, so how do I... So Trucy has nothing to say? I probably should present something. I wonder what do I have? Is there anything that goes against what he's saying? Gun. Bloomers. Noodle stand. Fingerprint pad. Yeah, I don't... Oh no, that was in the car garage. Maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in this testimony after all. Yeah, I've gone through everything a couple times now. Some of us have glamorous careers we'd like to get back to this month, Air Forehead. They don't have enough to put Walkie away yet. Should I back off or no? I guess I'll say yes, because I've gone through this and pressed and looked through the evidence. I'm not really sure what to do, other than maybe change my answer here. There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped away the previous user's prints off. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No! Alright, well... I didn't get a strike, so maybe that was the right answer. It seems we've come to the end of the line here. No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Were you, Air Forehead? I don't think he has a big forehead. Why does he keep calling him that? I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant. No, walkie-talkie. Oh. Yee! Who's screaming? The defendant? Oh, another. What the fudge? Trucy! Nobody move. What's the meaning of this? Who are you? I was gonna say, was it the witness, but what is happening? There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet. Wait, are you one of the I was about to say, is it part of the crime family? The Katakis. I mean the notorious gangsters. You didn't know that's who the defendant was? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of... Air Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Ugh, Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you, you'll regret it. Aw, poor Trucy. Wait, how'd he disappear so fast? So I guess the Katakis are resorting to some dirty foul play. Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo. Oh, that was Trucy saying that. I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man. Yeah, people, I feel like could be a little bit more concerned, but that's okay. We'll fix this. We always do in these games. Not always. Save progress? Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. Am I done? Back? Okay. Oh yeah, continue to the next chapter. There we go. June 16th, 11:17 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Trucy! Trucy? You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Oh, she's smiling. I guess she's okay. Trucy, you're okay. I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. You can't... They didn't do anything to you. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else... What? What is that? Oh, what the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat. Did she organize this? You look marvelous, darling. Did she just convince everyone that she was being kidnapped by at knife point? He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I'm a big hit. Ha ha ha. Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you, Trucy? There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. No, it wasn't. He said that he was being so vague. He said there was 10 minutes that just nothing happened. Like, I think this Stickler guy's got other stuff to say. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more staged objections, please. Yeah, that was a little dark for a second there. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. Oh, she can do the perception as well. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling? Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there's... what was his... Shoot, I wasn't really paying attention. I don't remember. What's his tell? Actually, I don't remember them exactly. Good thing I do. There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in, and each time there was a contradiction. What was he doing? In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Was it when he was looking through his book? Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol, but it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. Yeah, so he flipped through his book. Okay. Okay, good to know, good to know. I'll be on the lookout. Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense. Oh, and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. I need to start paying attention to that then every time I notice a contradiction, see what they're doing at the time. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker? What? Alright, well, we need to perceive. I always sit next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony, perceive the truth. Watch a testimony, perceive the truth. Remember we did it last case, Apollo. The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm gonna lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony, perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? Huh, Mr. Wright's not here today? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Oh, so she's gonna give me all the answers. Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice. Let's do it. Apollo, you know, I'm starting to think I can do this. I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Yes? That's so funny. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can. I just flew in from the coast and boy are my arms tired. Right. Oh, dad jokes. Alright, so hopefully we can do the perceived mechanic we learned last case on Mr. Ivy League Stickler. Court is now back in session. So is anyone going to question, like, what happened? Right, we're fine. Ahem. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice. Oh, you mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Yeah, as best they know, that she was kidnapped. Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that? Yeah, it was an out-of-court settlement. Right. Perhaps Fraulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. Does he suspect it? A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? Yeah, he sees right through her. I think he's on to me. I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us Oh, never mind. I was about to say, how did he not know that Christoph Gavin had a brother? But that's right, it was Apollo's friend, Phoenix's friend, not Apollo's friend. Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness? Right, the defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something? There's no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget, Apollo. Perceive. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. Okay, so where does he fiddle? I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I'll use my cell phone to call the police. Okay, he fiddles there. Not fiddles there. Okay. Can I go back? Oh, shoot. I saw it. I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all. Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot. Focus, if only were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? Yes, we do. We have to perceive. Perceive. What's this? My bracelet? Wait. What? Bracelet? That came out of nowhere. What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. Where did that bracelet come? Did I miss something? When did he get that bracelet? Did they give it to him earlier in the games? I don't think they did. Okay, here. Can I just, press? So, you called immediately after witnessing the murder? The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo, this has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit? Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet? I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Trucy, but I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Where is this bracelet from? Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with X as it reacts to the testimony. Okay. Perceive. Ooh. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly it's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy, what's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch, his habit. You remember it, right? Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand. His hand? You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right. I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Down, down, down. There we go. Perfect. Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive. Try listening to the witness talk as you focus, then watch for his habit. Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page? That's right. That's your signal to look closer, to perceive with X. Find his weak spot and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true pokered head's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. Don't worry if you miss it, you can always try again. Right, look out, nervous twitch, here comes justice. Ergo, I used my cell phone. Okay, he's twitching. Perceive. Confirm? Ooh. I saw it. Just now, I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? Yeah, everyone's like, what is wrong with him? All this banging of desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone. Well, what are you talking about? I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? Ask to see his phone, because we found a phone. It wasn't at the scene of the crime, but we found a phone. Where did that bracelet come from? I'm gonna have to go back and edit the episodes. Did I miss something? This just seems like it came out of nowhere. Oh, what? Why? Whatever for? Show me, and you'll find out. Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it? Interesting. Is it pink with a watch on it? Mr. Stickler. Is this your cell phone? Well, where did you get that? That's the phone from yesterday. Yeah, we found it under the car of the dead guy. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. No, it might belong to this guy then. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this? Yeah, why was it in the dead guy's clinic? The cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage. The Maractus? Why, that's where the victim lived. Oh, that's impossible. Not impossible, because that's the truth. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police? Well, I mean, couldn't he say he had his cell phone at the time? It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. Oh, well, I guess he's gonna crack under pressure. That is why it could be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all? Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler? Well, to indicate it with a startling high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. So he left the park. Yeah, that's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie? There can only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage. Well, what are you saying? I'm saying you're a liar, liar, pants on fire. Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells us all. But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I were trying to kill him. Were you? Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night. Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Well, so's perjury, you're lying. Yes, it's true. I lost my cell phone, but you can't prove that I lost it that night. Well, that is kind of what I was saying. Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to connection with the crime. Can we check it? Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime. Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder? Hold on, I don't know. Is there... Like, can I turn it on and check it? I'm not sure how I would prove that other than the phone itself. Part of me wants to say no evidence and see where that goes. Usually I always answer in the affirmative, but I'm kind of curious what happens if I say no evidence. Evidence. If only I had some evidence, it'd make this whole thing a lot easier. Care to explain the lack of confidence smeared across your face, Mr. Justice? Oh, air forehead. I think it should be clear by now. No evidence means no case. Ugh, I guess this is it. Time to go for broke. Oh, okay, so I do have something. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder. I don't know. Should I just present the cell phone itself? Well, Prosecutor Gavin? No comment, Air Judge. Oh gosh, no dice, Mr. Justice. Penalty, dang it. Apollo, remember when we found that cell phone? It was under the car. If it had fallen on the ground before that night. That's right. The cell phone would have been Oh, okay. Oh, that's true, because the car mirror got taken off that night as well. Your Honor, one more chance, please. Let me try the car mirror. Yes, I know I'll run out of chances. Let's try the car mirror? That's a side view mirror? As it so happens, Dr. Baractus's car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder. An accident? An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Baractus's car hit a pedestrian. What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say that the phone would have been crushed before the hit and run if you had dropped it before. From the absence of a mirror, it's clear the car was parked after the accident. Exactly. Which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. I see. Okay, I get this line of thinking. This is why I can't be a lawyer. my clients would be screwed. After all, it was lying on the ground, right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler. The only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. I hope this guy did it. I want him to go to jail. I don't like him. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? You did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus? No, stop. This is too much. This can't be happening. Prosecutor, say something. I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this. I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I know that face. That's the face of guilt. All right. Careful what you say, good sir. I guess we'll have to watch to see if he flips the pages. That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. Oh, it's messing with the book there. And then when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene. Well, there's 2 times he was flipping through the book. Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage. Ah, yes, well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It was given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it along the road, you know. Looks like a normal cell phone to me. Yeah, with defect. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please. That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Oh. Looks like you're on your own this time around. Right, no problem, I hope. Here comes justice. Alright. That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. Let's press that. That's when you passed in front of the Maractus clinic? Why, yes, that's correct. That was a pretty suspicious pause there. Yeah, Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific? Please show us the exact route you took on the night of the murder. Of course. The supermarket is here, along the main road. My way home from there takes me past the Maractus Clinic. Okay. This is probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet, woe is I walked on unaware of my loss. And walked right into that fateful park. Yeah, I don't believe you. When I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. Which entrance did you enter the park from? Well, to be exact, one might say that I went in from the entrance closest to the Maractus Clinic. The same entrance our victim used. Did you notice anything when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance? I have no recollection of such a thing. What? He doesn't remember the noodle stand? Yet though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say. So he doesn't remember the noodle stand? Oh, there it is. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all clear as day. This part of the testimony is the key, I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? Oh. I guess maybe the killer? Are you sure you remember the killer clearly? How many times must I repeat myself? It was him, that unscrupulous fox-like fella in the defendant's chair. He was looking even more unscrupulous at the time, no less. He does look a bit like one of those trickster foxes in Legends of Yore. He sure doesn't look like a crime boss's son. I guess the killer's identity is already old territory. Time to ask something new. I guess I should press him on maybe the stand. That's really the only thing we haven't talked about. Let's press him on the stand. Do you happen to remember the noodle stand? Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that was it. For remembering something so quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. I don't think did his stand say that? Eldune. Oh, noodle. It's over there. Huh. I don't get it right side up. There we go. So he would have had to seen him from this direction. But, so if he was looking at it from this direction and the guy turned his head, because remember last episode they were saying he's turned his head and that's how he got shot on the right side of the temple. If he turned this way, wouldn't it be the left side? I think I see a contradiction here. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice? What about that sign? Could that be important? Yes. I'm going to say it's very important. So the sign on the noodle stand said noodle. It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony. Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days. Here it's salty. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well. Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles. I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. I do like noodles, but, why, even I remember the sign on the stand the victim was pulling. It said noodle. So the sign said noodle? You're absolutely sure? There he goes, flipping the page. Sure, taking a while, sir. Let me be frank. Yes. In fact, the word unsure isn't even in my dictionary, nor the word uncertain. Or is it wasting time looking that stuff up? Noodle, eh? I like that. It tells you what you're getting. No nonsense. It tells me a lot more than that, actually. Why are you smiling like that, Apollo? Should I present? Let me present the noodle stand here. Objection! And see what happens. And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle? Why, just last week, my professor ordered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It read, without a doubt, noodle. I see. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes? Let's take a look at our map, shall we? So, you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing there. Here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot. You think so? Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand, to carefully read what the sign says. Yep. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. Eldunes. Inconceivable. I'm certain it was definitely Noodle for sure. Positive. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight. I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said Noodle. And he saw it right, but he was not standing where he said he was standing. What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read the way Mr. Stickler claims? What? Mr. Justice, show us this spot. The witness actually viewed the stand from this location. He was actually probably standing over here. I hope I can just pick a random spot over on that side. The witness was standing here on the opposite side. How do you know that? When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads Eldunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand. Oh, this side says Noodle. Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south. You got me. Objection! So what? So what? What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or the south side? Well, he's a liar. It makes no difference at all. It does. He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning. Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Trucy? Remember his testimony from before. Though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. Because that was the whole point of them explaining the side he was shot on. The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts, exactly. At which point, the victim turns his head to look, and the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right. But if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario. Exactly. He would have got shot on the left side. Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. The bullet would have had to have hit his left temple. Oh. In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible. That's right. So now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning. Indeed, you are absolutely correct, Fraulein. What meaning? The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north. North, oh. But that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing. Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person who would have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself. Ooh, you in trouble? Order, order, order. Wow, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. She's flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out. Clarify one point for me, if you would. Air forehead. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? I am. Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer. No, please, looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say. What are you gonna do, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? Ooh. This is a tough one. Accused of another crime. I don't know what the other crime would be. Maybe he's the panty snatcher. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that more than him being the murderer. I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why, now. The word confession isn't in my dictionary. Just air forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Air Stickler's silence. Mr. Justice, did you say you're accusing the witness just now? For crime other than murder? Your reason? The court's all ears. Ugh, I know he's guilty of something. What crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime? Your evidence? The court's all justice, or all eyes, Mr. Justice. Oh. Oops. I don't know if that's going to show up, but I must have just got a subscriber while I was filming. Thank you, subscriber. The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime. Ooh. I found these too. I don't know if this is... Can I look at these details? Did I look at these that hard? Is there something on here that can prove it? Whoa. It's a little drawing on the back. These bloomers sure have a distinct design. You certainly know who they belong to at a glance. That way she doesn't have to write her name on them. Genius! I would think writing your name would be easier than drawing a plum blossom. Yeah, I don't see anything that indicates he would have stolen them. And I don't think there's anything on Trucy's pair either. We did find these at the scene of the crime though. I kind of want to present these and see what happens. I'm probably going to lose a point. The evidence is this. What? Is that women's underwear? Hey, those are mine. We're just showing children's underwears in a court of law here. Are you a panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler? I kind of love that more than him being a murderer because it's weird. Like at least murder, you're just like straight to jail. But panty snatcher, you're like, you're a weirdo. Order, order, order. Mr. Stickler. While I can't say this comes as a shock, it's not what it seems. By Pythagoras' theorem, on the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place than the Maractus Clinic garage. Ah, incidentally. Oh, and he dropped the phone while he was trying to hide the panties. These panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. I love this. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree. Please hear me out. It's not what it looks like. This is awesome. Order, order. Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. I like how they're more upset that he's a panty snatcher than a potential murderer. It's not what it seems. This is hilarious. I love these games. So, are we to understand that you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments? Perhaps you are not aware that my school's name was originally written IV. I stands for intelligent, V stands for valiant. See? Your point? I'm not done. Now, I'm a major in the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? See, if we have the IVU science department are valiantly curious, no challenge is too daunting. And what greater challenge? Wow. Couldn't read it fast enough. Come on, you're talking about a girl's panties here. No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, those panties are the promised land. What is happening? From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate for science. A full-size car tire was only the first mystery of those panties revealed. A tire? Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of those panties. But that's not all. First, there was the tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken. One mystery after another. It was magic. I mean, she is a magician. Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar. Huh? He's talking about my magic panties trick. So you got yourself a stalker. I just don't understand. A broom. From a pair of panties, it mocks the very laws of physics. A broom and a frozen chicken, Trucy? Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits? Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick? You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For me, they are an object for serious study. Sure, buddy. I wonder. There has been a recent rash of panty snatchings in the area. You know what? I changed my mind straight to jail. Were they all you? I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties flapping in the breeze. Dude, you're a weirdo and a creep, not a man of science. Even the night she chased me through the... Perhaps this is the night that I will seize the truth that lies within those panties. Yet woe was I, for once again the lace-hearted pattern truth... Still, that leaves one thing unexplained. Ah, you refer to our witness's other lie, yes? The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but was in fact in the north. So then who killed the doctor? Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that? Be my guest, Air Forehead. Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea? Apollo, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a what? Hold on. Do I have a diagram of that? Oh shoot, I don't. I just have this map. Yeah, I don't have the diagram. But say, do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location? Uh-oh. What was there? I don't remember. Man, I wish it doesn't give me the diagram of the crime scene? The only thing I can think was we found these in the park in a trash can. But I don't remember if that trash can was... Because when we were investigating, the trash can was on the... Oh, no. That trash can was near the noodle stand. Okay, I remember now. Let's see if this does it. The evidence that shows why he lied is this. More panties. Yeah, what? More panties? How many panties are you carrying in your pocket? Air forehead. Yeah, Paulo's looking like the creep. These are the last, honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. That's right. So we found the car mirror in a trash can that was outside the park. Then we found these in a trash can in the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood. Mr. Stickler, you didn't. Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties. So these panties are your handiwork as well? That night, I had been chased, hounded in the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt? Your prize? Believe me, I'd rather not. I hid in the garage for a short while. Then abandoning the panties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion, a giant pair of panties. Apparently he didn't know these bloomers belonged to the mob. I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder. The murder of Dr. Maractus. I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me? That's when he disposed of the bloomers? Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne. A fascinating, if disturbing, tale. Yes, this is very strange. I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial. One last thing, if I might add. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely, that the defendant, Walkie-Talkie, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Walkie-Talkie has a clear motive. Indeed, the defendant Walkie-Talkie is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there's no one else on the scene at the crime, or on the scene at the time. Yet a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation from both the defense and the prosecution. Okay, we get to investigate some more. Yeah, baby. No problem. Very well, this brings the trial for the day to a close. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Well, we will continue our investigation in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and if you enjoyed your time, leave a like and say hi down in the comments below, and consider subscribing if you want to catch more of this series. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy.